G'day, welcome to Art with Alison. Right, I'm going to do a take two basically of a straight pour in black, blue, gold and red for a birthday gift for my youngest son. And I did one before which has already gone up on YouTube, and yeah, I'm not sure that it's really what he's after, so I'm going to do another one and see how that goes. Alright, dog hair. I live with dogs. I am a Labrador breeder and all my dogs live in the house with me, so, and this is the main room where we all hang out, so you're likely to hear snoring at the moment because it's the middle of the night. Alright, so I've got here, this is 8-ounce cup, so I'll probably fill it to the top to 10 ounces. It's a 20-inch by 20-inch canvas. This might not be enough, and if not, then I can always pour a bit more on top or to the side or whatever. We'll see when we get there. But I want to try and stretch it out as much as possible. Anyway, we'll see how we go this time. And I wasn't happy with the middle last time. And the middle I started with, what was it? I think it was gold and copper and red and black, and it was, I don't know, it wasn't very bright and happy, I thought. So I thought we'll start today with some red for the middle, followed by some gold. And actually I'll try and tip that on its side. I wanted to show you the consistencies, and I haven't, have I? Can you see it with the black? It's harder to see in the black, but basically fairly thick. And all the paints are virtually the same. Paints, I'll quickly go through those as well. This one here is Liquitex Basics Ultramarine Blue. So yeah, pretty thick. The reason for being thick is I'm trying to give it the opportunity to have thicker, have more distinct lines. If your paints are very liquidy, then they're more likely to blend together. Right, so that didn't work, did it? It doesn't matter. The reason for having it on the side is, yeah, just help your paints not to mix together and stuff. Anyway, now often black and gold can create green, but I do seem to remember before when I've used the Araldo black and the Araldo golds that it doesn't create the green, so we shall see if that happens today, because this is Araldo black, this is Araldo rich gold, this is Araldo red, cool red. Then I've got Deco Art, Extreme Sheen, Deep Sapphire, and this is Extreme Sheen, just Sapphire, and I've also got Extreme Sheen in the 24K Gold. The metallics are a bit thicker, or quite a bit, well, I don't know, actually they're all quite thick, aren't they? But yeah, they are pretty thick. And alright, I think I've told you them all. Do a fair bit of black. I think he'd like a lot of black. And now the deep sapphire. The reason for the extreme sheens that I'm doing that, will I do this? Yeah, just a bit of this, is to, I don't want too much blue, that's all, is to, the extreme sheens are likely to cause some lovely cells. I won't do the other extreme sheen. Sort of dripping everywhere, isn't it? I think if I do that, it'll go green, won't it? Might go to red. Don't mind a bit of purple. So yeah, with the extreme sheens you do get some beautiful boulder type cells is what I call them, or you sometimes do, you don't always get them, but that's why I've included the Liquitex Basics this time, because the last painting I did didn't get the boulders, and I think that's because it didn't have any Liquitex Basics in it, and my experience seems to be that it's when you've got the Liquitex Basics in there that you're more likely to get the boulders. Alright, so might give me green. So yeah, this is the sapphire, just got a bit left. I'd like to keep my paints in sealed containers. I make them up beforehand and they can keep for a very long time, I've found, if they are kept in a sealed container. And yeah, it just saves a lot of time and effort basically before doing a pour, because it does take so much time and effort preparing your paints, believe me. Black, we want more black, don't we? And I have a very bad back and it actually gives me a lot of pain doing all the stirring and in the preparation, so it just helps me a lot to have the paints prepared already, and then I'm not having to do that just before doing the pour. Alright, let's have a look. I'll go with red. Red next to black always looks good, I think. And 24K gold. Just about out. This is all I've got left of the 24K gold. It's so hard to get at the moment. I did actually find some more expensive than what I normally get it from a different online store. And yeah, because of the lockdowns over in the eastern states of Australia at the moment, things can take weeks to get across the borders. So I don't know when I'm going to get them. Alright, a little bit more of this. And I think we'll go for black again. Beautiful colour, this. Oh, it's just about full, isn't it? Ooh, it's about to overflow, I think. That spout is lower than the rest. I was looking at the rest, but no. I must stop. I was going to try and scrape the rest of that out, but I don't think that's a good idea. Right, I shall clear this away and come back with the canvas. Right, so just going to give it a squirt with some water. This helps to tighten the canvas, which, I mean, if it's not tight, then you're more likely to get your paint all sort of settling in the middle of your canvas rather than being straight. Covering it in black paint. You might notice I've covered the edges in some masking tape and put in some push pins. I like lots of push pins because I like to hold on to them while I'm tilting. so that I'm not mucking up the edges, because these are lovely deep edge. Look at these, how they go right down deep in here. It's beautiful quality, and they've got deep edges on the sides, you can see, and you don't want to be holding them, and it's very easy to do that, I find, to hold it on the edges. So just try and remind myself to use the pins. All right, there we are. The noises in the background are the dogs. There's a lot of funny noises. That was my youngest one. She does make the funniest noises when she stretches when she's sleeping, little Jet. Well, she's 5 months old now, but she still feels like a little pup. Yeah. Right, what I've got here is what I scooped up from the last painting I did. I make sure I clean all this before I start, and then any paint that's spilled over the edges can be used in another pour. And this is made basically a lovely, very metallic-y, almost black colour. So I thought this would be good for the base coat. I might just start with some just in the middle. Right, now this table often slopes off to that side, so I just put these paddle pop sticks underneath that far corner, and we'll see how that goes, because often that seems to head off down there. All right. I'm going to do it a bit slower than the last one. That's heading off that way, isn't it? The reason for doing it slower is I think it might help keep the lines more defined. A lot of blue there. Maybe it's too thick. I'll do a round pour, a ring pour for the middle. There. All right. Let's give it a torch. Torching helps pop any air bubbles. you get air bubbles, well, first of all, if you've just mixed up any paints, you're likely to get air bubbles, and also just pouring it creates air bubbles. The only paint that I just mixed up was the Liquitex Basics one. The rest has all been made up a long time ago. Also, the heat helps to bring up any cells from underneath. Even though I don't have any silicone oil or any other oil thingies in there, just the different densities of the pigments of paints can make some colours rise and some sink. Alright, so I might just put some more paint around here. Okay, so what I did was I just used the rest of that dark colour from the previous pour, and then I used the rest of the cool red that I had in that little container, and then I got some Heraldo cool blue and diluted that down with some Floetrol so it's a bit more runny. Oh, and I also used some of, or the rest in fact, of the Heraldo black, which I also diluted down with some Floetrol. The reason for that is to help, well, the reason for all of this is to help your pour to move, rather than if it doesn't have any other paint around it. What will happen is the edge of your pour will catch onto the canvas because the canvas is rough, and then it rolls under itself, and then you lose all the edges of your pour. So by doing this, it should just glide along the top. We hope so. We shall see. I'll just give it one more quick torch. Alright, let's do this. The colours are looking rather lovely. I'll just turn it around here because I just want to send it off in that direction over there first. So I won't go right off the edges yet. See how it's just gliding along, that red line at the edge there, it's staying there, it's not rolling under. I just have to, because I've got a bad back, I need to lean it on the far corner. Ooh, just got to watch how that's going, so I try and keep it as is, as in the composition for the minute. See what's happening by stretching it out, and I get to see what's what. Just go near the edge but not over, because once it goes over it clings on to the edge, and then it's a different ball game basically. I mean, it's good to do when you want it to do that. that blue on the edge there is just gorgeous. It's just glimmering. I don't know if I can keep it. We shall see. You've always got to watch where the fastest part is moving. That's called the centre of gravity, which makes sense. hard to talk when you're concentrating. Wow, it's just looking gorgeous. Hope you can see it. Colours are just radiant. Ugh, it's a bit slippery. And I don't have the vinyl under my feet anymore because my darling dogs chewed it up yesterday. I was only out of the house for a couple of hours and I came back to find it all chewed up. The joy of dogs. They love to chew. Yeah. Mind you, it's lasted over a year having it down there, and they had started to chew it a couple of times and managed to save it by cutting off all the jagged edges. And oh, it's going over the edge over there. I might just let it go over now. Over this corner. Hang on. Try and get that bit over there. It's just coming over here. Hopefully I can save that beautiful blue there. Because I didn't use as much paint, it should be stretching out more than what I usually do, hopefully. A lot of paint on the floor. Good thing with acrylic paint though is it does wash off if you notice it in time and you do it while it's still wet. It comes straight off. But the danger is if I step in it and then walk around without realising, it could be a bit of a mess. Right, what's happening here? Might just bring it back and come back over this corner actually. I probably should get some of those puppy pea pads. I breed dogs but I don't use them. The thing with puppy pea pads, I don't know if anyone knows this, but the way they work is at least they have the smell of urine on them, and that's what induces the puppies to pee on them. And that, I don't know, that somehow doesn't appeal to me. Oops, this bush pin just came out that I'm holding. That's okay, I've got plenty more. Because it hasn't hooked over here near where I am, see how it's just going down there. I'll try and look, that blue is so pretty. Get that back to the middle and I'll come down to this corner. Actually I might go down and push that off over there. Use see what I'm doing? I hope so. Rather not lose that gold though, so have to be quick about it. I can just touch it with my glove and then just pull that over. I think that is all over there. I'll just go down to that corner and I'll turn it around so you can see. Push it back. And see if for once I can actually have the middle, somewhat near the middle. I often end up don't liking the middle and it gets shoved off. Let's have a look. I'm actually going to, where am I? I'll just wipe my hands so I can point without dripping paint all over it. Alright, so I'd quite like to stretch these out here. This is so beautiful. Maybe I might shove this off further back and just hook it over this bit here and then see what happens and then stretch it out. Just got to watch I don't lose it though. See where the weight of the paint is. Just said before, it's where it's moving the fastest because it's the centre of gravity. So I just want it to hook over where that gold starts. And now stretch that gold out. Maybe do it a bit slower. Let's have a look. I was nearly going to chip that off, but I thought, no, there's some lovely, just solid black there, which I think looks quite nice. Alright, because when you tip your canvas, you end up with more paint at the end where you've just tipped it, and you don't want different depths of paint on your canvas as much as possible, because you don't want one part drying faster than the other, because that's when you're likely to get cracking. Right. I still don't think it's what my son wanted. I don't know actually. But I actually really like it. I think it's gorgeous. Some beautiful areas. So I think I'm going to leave it there, and I'm probably going to do yet another one. He can choose. I'll do a few and he can choose which one he likes. Alright, I'll just do my corners and scrape along the bottoms, which is important. I'm sure if you watched any of my videos before you'd know why. And that is so that paint doesn't keep rolling off the edges, because there's nothing to hold the paint in, right? Nothing to hold it in. And you pour liquid on something, it's going to keep running off, isn't it? But it's more likely to run off if it's being pulled down by the weight of the paint coming off the edges. So if you do this, it just reduces the amount of paint falling, basically. You just keep doing this for a little while till it stops coming off. It doesn't take very long, really. Alright, as per usual, I haven't quite finished. I just want to stretch out those gold ones there a bit more. Maybe. We'll see if it moves. See, it's moving more up the top there, isn't it, with the blue? So it must be where the weight of the paint is, so I'll bring that down a bit. But I don't want it going off the edge, but I'm just bringing the paint down so that now most of the paint, can't point because my hands are totally covered in paint, but most of the depth of paint is now in this kind of corner, I think. But I want it to come down a bit further. But I don't want it to go off the end. I'm liking these boulders that are happening up here. So now, just try and stretch this out a bit more. No, that didn't really work at all. Not so fast, slow down. I'm just going back and forth because I'm trying to stretch out the gold cells, but so far it's just the middle that's really moving, not the edges where the gold cells are. So, but I don't want all this to go off the edge. I think I'm going to have to leave it there. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. You can only do what the paint lets you do, basically, with this sort of art. think I'm going to leave it there. Just take the weight of the paint back a bit. Alright, there are some very beautiful parts to it, but yeah, I don't know. Ooh. I'm actually tempted to pour something in the middle. I'm not that happy with the middle. Alright, just wait a bit. Well, it won't be long for you, but I'm just going to think about it. Alright, no, I've decided I love it. Funny, eh? You just got to adjust your mind to something different to what you were going for, is the thing, and see it for the beauty it is in itself, which is one of the main challenges with fluid art, is exactly that. You have in your mind what you're wanting, what you're expecting, what you're aiming for, and then you get something different and it's like, no, I don't like that. But go away, leave it for a few minutes, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's a day, and then sometimes you can see the beauty in the painting for itself. I mean, sometimes they're rubbish. But no, actually, this is quite gorgeous. All right, I'll bring you down for some close-ups. All right, so here it is. Take you in for some close-ups. Sorry about the glare. Just going along the bottom here. These beautiful gold boulder cells. Actually, there's more up the other side. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, love that. So here down the side here, lovely big boulder cells. Sorry if I'm going too fast. Like whizzing around it, getting closer and closer to the middle. In the middle, yeah, it depends how you look at it. This sort of angle, it's quite red, but then you come over here. I guess that side's still red. This corner here is lovely too. Love those sorts of cells. Very pretty. There's more red than pink, I think. We'll see when it dries. That's definitely red, that part there. Alright, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks heaps to everyone who's subscribed. Remember, it's free if you haven't already. And please give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. And I do have a Facebook group called Acrylic Pouring and More for all types of artists at all levels. So it's for everyone, really. Well, it is. You don't even have to be an artist. You might just want to just listen, see what people post. You can give encouragement. The only rule is to be kind. I think that covers everything. Okay. Thanks again, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.